Okay, a sumo squat. Basically what you're going to do, take the band, stand on it with your feet as wide as possible. Okay, turning your toes out, so the wider you go with this stance, the further you turn your toes out. Hold the band in the centre around about chest height, sit down into a squat and then come up nice and explosively. So control it down, try and get your knees to follow the line of your feet and then come back up, keeping that back nice and straight, chin in the neutral position. If you're doing it with a kettlebell, it's the same principle. Just holding the kettlebell up at chest height, feet nice and wide, turn it out back straight, sit down into your squat, come up nice and high. The depth of the squat is generally a little bit shallower than a standard squat, but some people might find they can get quite deep on this. Just follow your natural movement pattern. So a clean and press with a kettlebell, probably best done with a medium or heavy weight depending on how strong you are. What you're going to do is start off with a kettlebell, you drop it to the ground in a deadlift position, let it touch the ground. You're going to come up nice and explosively, bringing the kettlebell onto the back of your wrist. Then from there, you're then going to press into the air, bring it back down, flick it over, touch the ground. So you bring it up, flick, press into the air, control it back down. So it's the same on each side. So you just hinge at the waist, control it down, flick it up, press into the air, control it back down. On the third round, split your reps halfway through, so you half on the left, half on the right. Make sure you use round 2 to count the reps, so you know when to change. If you're just showing you from the side, what you're going to do, hinge at the waist, control it down into a squat position, press into the air, control it back down. So touch the ground, flick up, control it back down. You can actually do a little jump, push through your hips on this exercise if you need to. So a thruster with the band, what you're looking to do is take your feet, stand with your feet shoulder width apart. You might want to use a light or a medium band for this. Bring it up to chest height, so you curl up, make sure the band is on the outside of your arms. You then sit into a squat and then press into the air. So squat down, press into the air. I'll show you from the side. So you sit down into a squat, press nice and explosively into the air. Sit down into your squat, nice and explosively into the air. So an upright row, just take hold of the kettlebell, hold it at the top of the handles. Make sure it's hanging down, and then you're just going to raise your elbows up, bring the kettlebell towards your chest and towards your chin. So control it back down. So it's fast up, and then control it back down. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Single leg lunge with the kettlebell. Place it on the back of your wrist. Lift it into the air so your arm is nice and straight. You don't need to lock it out, but just try and keep it vertical, but just don't have it bend down like this, okay? And then what you're going to do is lunge forwards with your opposite leg, pushing back through your heel of your foot, so you're taking pressure off your knee. So from the side, same exercise, just feet together, back nice and straight, step forwards, push back through your heel of your foot. Try and create right angles with your legs as you go down. First round, use one arm, opposite time. Second round, use the opposite arm to make sure you're lunging with the opposite leg to the arm that is in the air. Third round, you're going to swap halfway through. So count those reps and then split them in 2 and copy them halfway. Okay, a lunge with a lat raise combo. Take hold of the band. You're going to do a split lunge with this. So place the band around your lead foot. And then what you're going to do is step forwards, take hold of the band with both hands. So you've got hold of both sides of the band. And then you're going to lunge down and then bring it up into a side lateral raise at the side. So you're combining the 2 exercises. So as you come back down, your hand lowers down, touch your toe, then bring it up and out to the side. To the opposite side, just swap sides. Take a hold, I'll show you from the front. Step forward with your opposite leg. I'll just show you the front, place the band around your foot, step forwards, and then you're going to lunge, just drop down, and then bring your hand up and out to the side as you lunge back up. Mountain climbers, get your hands into a pressing position, put one knee in front of the other, and then alternate with the legs as fast as you can in a running motion. If you need to slow down, or you have to regress it, you can do a crossover mountain climber, where you bring your knee slowly to your opposite elbow and returning it back to the start position. Right, burpee. Take your hands, place them onto the ground, jump your feet back, bring them back in, come back up to standing. That's your basic version. If you need to make it simpler, you can do a 4-point burpee, so hands on the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, stepping back in. If you want to make it harder, you can put your hands onto the ground. You can either do a push-up, or you can lower your body all the way down to the ground, and then come back up. You can also add a jump onto the end of the burpee as well if you want to. So hands on the ground, come up, little jump in the air. Different variations of the burpee. The plank tap can be done either straight arm or on your forearms. Place your hands shoulder width apart, up onto your toes, keep that core nice and tight. Start with your feet approximately shoulder width apart, and then you step them out and then back in. So stepping out and then back in. There's different ways you can do it, so you can step in and out, or you can step them both out wide. As long as your feet are moving, it doesn't really matter how you do it. And again, you can also do it on your forearms, keep that core nice and tight, hips nice and level, so you just step in and out, or you can step them both out and then step them in. As long as your feet are moving, it doesn't really matter how you do that exercise. With a T push-up, you start in the standard push-up position, hands just slightly wider than shoulder width apart, chin into the air. You control yourself down and then come up and reach into the sky. Come back down, lower yourself to the ground, and alternate arms raising into the air. You can do this on your knees as well if you need to. So if you do it on your knees, control it down, reach into the air. Control it down, reach into the air. As you're coming up, you're trying to push up and rotate at the same time rather than push up and then reach.